Hi, my name is Josh McCarthy, and I want to welcome you to another edition of our Ask the Experts weekend here on 104.5 WOKV. And this show is dedicated to you, the workforce of today and tomorrow. Pete, the Job Guy Langlois, introduces his listeners to the most innovative companies, and he explores the career journeys behind some of the world's most influential individuals. And this is all done with an honest and oh-so-entertaining filter that is unique to Pete, the Job Guy Langlois. Take it away, Pete.
Hello out there, all you hard workers, and welcome to Hard Worker with Pete, the Job Guy. Joining me as co-host now is the semi-world famous Angie Langlois. You want to shout out, Angie?
What's up, Jacksonville? Woo!
Lots of energy. Guys, if you haven't listened to the show before, this is a show where we give career advice and we help people to be more effective and productive in their jobs. But one of my favorite parts of this whole show, each and every week, Angie and I will introduce you to some of Jacksonville's most influential people. These folks tell us about themselves, the great organizations they represent, and the great causes that you can participate in right here in Jacksonville and in North Florida. So this week, I have a great guest. Oh, my gosh, I have two of them, and I can't wait to tell you about them. But before we get started, I also want to let you know that for the 4.5 years we've been doing this show right here on WOKV, we have Boston Danny, and he is still on the show. He is still hilarious. And Boston Danny loves to talk about the fair city of Boston, give us all kinds of updates on his sports teams. But Boston Danny does something special for all you guys, too. If you have someone, maybe a special someone, they have a birthday, an anniversary, or they just made your workday just a little bit brighter, and you'd like to recognize them for it, you know what? Send me an email, pete@petethejobguy.com. I'll give that message and take care of your special someone by letting Boston Danny know to do a special shout out. Now, the way Boston Danny does it is a real wicked piss of shout out, and he does it in a manner like only Boston Danny can, and your special someone will feel appreciated. So make sure you send me an email, pete@petethejobguy.com, and we'll take care of your person. Guys, one thing that you may not know about me is I spent 7 years in the world's greatest Navy. And I was on board the USS Saratoga, and I moved up through the ranks, and, you know, my name was Petty Officer Langlois. I was known by my rank and my last name, and I wore uniforms wherever I went, and I was proud. I gained great skills. I learned a lot about attention to detail, a sense of mission, purpose, traveled all the way around the world, and I gained some great skills while I was there. Heck, I went to college nights and weekends through one of the Navy programs they had. And I got my bachelor's degree when I was in, and I was working on my master's degree. The Navy did a lot of good things for me. And when I got out of the Navy after 7 years of service, leading teams, really advancing myself, I come out and I said, oh man, I'm ready to tackle the world. I'm going to have a great and successful career. And I bought a suit, and I went and interviewed. I even got a briefcase, and I'm like, wow, I'm going into the white-collar world. And I interviewed, and I was like, and at the end, did you get the job? I don't know. And I kept waiting, and I didn't get it. I interviewed again, and I didn't get the job. And I interviewed again, and I didn't get it, and I couldn't figure out why. You know, I have these great skills that I learned in the Navy. I'm ready to tear the world apart and show them how hard I can work and be successful, but I don't know. Maybe I was too yes, sir, no, sir, or, speaking my Navy jargon that I spoke from when I was 18 years old to my mid-20s. For whatever reason, I just couldn't get a foot in the door. I was thankful that a friend of mine had a brick paver company, and he said, Pete, well, you can come work for me. And I said, well, you know what? Thanks, Mike. And I went and I laid brick pavers in the hot sun. It's a noble profession. I was proud to do it, and I worked hard. And I figured I'd just do it for a month, maybe 2 months. Well, that month, 2 months turned into 6 months, turned into a year. I laid brick pavers for 2 years when I got out of the Navy with my college degree and leadership experience. And that's what I did. And eventually, I would interview here and there, and I got a job at Merrill Lynch. And I remember when they printed me to work there. Any stock exchange company has your fingerprint. I had smudges. I had no fingerprints left because I was laying brick pavers all day. But it took me, 2 years to break into a meaningful and purposeful career. There weren't a whole lot of programs out there that helped veterans and veterans' families transition into a purposeful career. Well, guys, I got to tell you right now, there is a great program, Operation New Uniform. And ONU helps veterans and their families, their spouses, transition into a purposeful and meaningful career. I know they've had over 400 graduates. I think 97% of them are in those meaningful careers and earning an average of over $74,000. It's pretty substantial. The numbers are great. Well, with us today, my guest, I'm going to introduce a returning guest, the world-famous Chief Executive Officer of ONU, Michele McManamon!
Pete, I adore you, and Angie, you are two of my most favorite people in the world. But, more importantly, your story about your transition is exactly what we do at ONU. And we try to help our veteran community that is transitioning out of the military to avoid what you had to go through. We have so many underemployed and unemployed veterans and spouses that are out there just beating their heads against the wall going, why am I not getting these careers? Why am I not getting these jobs? And it's frustrating. And until 9 years ago, when we wanted to scholar a veteran through a sales training program, did I even have an understanding of what our veteran community even faces on a daily basis. So I'm as naive as probably a lot of other business owners out there, hiring managers that don't get it. Like, how do you hire a veteran? If I were to see two resumes and one has all those acronyms and the other one doesn't, but the one with the acronyms is probably more qualified. But as a owner or someone that's going to hire somebody, I'm going to take the easy route. Right? Isn't that usually the way? So I'm going to take the one that might not be as qualified, but I get, versus the one that I don't understand that has maybe more qualifications, but I really don't want to take the time to have to train that person. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Can
yes,
you get that?
and I see it day in and day out, and it's unfortunate. That's what we see. And people that, veterans that are so skilled and so talented get overlooked for those reasons. It's
Absolutely.
the unknown. With you today, you brought Tracey Bradley. Welcome to Hard Worker with Pete, the Job Guy, Tracey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here. ONU rules.
We are so glad you're here.
I love that.
And you're Program Outreach Coordinator. What is that?
Well, I am, like yourself, I am a veteran of the U.S. Navy, 20 years. I owe you to all my AOs out there.
Ordies.
Ordies. And I help not only with the facilitating of our courses, but once our graduates graduate, our veterans and the spouses, I'm the one who helps with those resumes, help with the research, the career search, help with the interviewing skills and preps, help with meeting with local organizations, HR, SHRMs, here locally in the Jacksonville area that want to hire our veterans and their spouses.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Angie, I know you're chomping at the bit right here. Jump in. What you got?
So this can be a question for either you, Tracey, or Michele. But everybody likes a heartwarming, inspirational story. Do you have an example that you can give us? You don't have to use names of somebody that's gone through the program and maybe where they're at now.
Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. I mean, that I don't know, Tracey. I'm sitting here thinking of 5 off the top of my head, but I think some of the everybody loves heartwarming stories. You're right, and getting the careers is absolutely amazing. But I think understanding the companies, the organizations like you guys that are helping us place them is as powerful as those veterans that are actually getting the careers. Because to us, when we can partner with those companies and organizations that are hiring, I mean, that's half the battle. Because our folks are amazing. We know they are. You guys know they are. But if they have the ability to make that connection through us and through you, that right there is something they never had before. Coming out of the military, not having any connections, just having their military friends and family, that's different than coming out and having a network of business professionals that all want to help you get hired. So I could tell you 5, but Tracey, you got one in mind that you want to share?
Oh, my. One that comes to mind immediately is a graduate who just graduated. Won't say his name, from our cohort 49 and 50. We had a joint graduation for the end of the year. And he's a retired senior chief, E8 from the Navy, worked on subs. sitting through our training track, he actually said it was a light bulb moment.
Wow.
On the struggles, on how to communicate in interviews, to kind of just correlate that military to, we try not to use the term civilians, but, you know, some of us has been at it a long time in the military, but translating that language. So skipping over all the other stuff, I am proud to say just last week, he got a 6-figure job offer.
I love hearing that.
I'm talking true 6 figures, and had another company courting him that wanted to fly him and his partner down to just kind of see what they would do. So he's actually afraid of, wow, I got what I asked for, and it's such a shock.
Oh, that's so exciting. You know, we're going to take a break here in a second. I hear that music, but when we come back, one of the best things I've ever seen is your graduation and listening to the stories. There's not a dry eye in the room when you see these people get up and tell their stories and present themselves to the world. And they do it in such a great way. But like I said, that music tells us we got to take a quick break and listen to this message from our show sponsor. You're listening to Hard Worko with Pete the Job Guy on 104.5 WOKV.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's me, Angie Langlois, one of the managing partners here at Ascendo Resources in Jacksonville, Florida. Ascendo Resources is an award-winning, certified minority-owned staffing firm that specializes in placing highly skilled professionals on a temporary, temp-to-perm, or direct hire basis. Call the true professionals at Ascendo today, because despite the current challenges, our talented recruiters can find exactly what you need. Call me, Angie Langlois, at 904-479-9610.
Welcome back, all you hard workers, and that is our show sponsor, Ascendo Resources. If you're having trouble finding qualified candidates, I can assure you there has not been a qualified candidate genocide. They're out there. They're just harder to find. So call the good folks at Ascendo Resources, and we'll be happy to help you out. And you can always look to Operation New Uniform to employ transitioning military veterans and their spouses. So coming back, we have Michele McManamon, CEO of ONU, and we also have Tracey here with us, Tracey Bradley. He's the Program Outreach Coordinator. And now, I kind of teased it before we went into the break. But Michele, maybe tell us a little bit about what the graduation ceremony looks like.
This is one of my favorite things, and I know you both have been to graduation, so you know the experience of sitting in that room. So think about a couple weeks of training and now having the opportunity, and each veteran gets about 2 minutes to talk in front of everyone. And just recently, we've made it even more powerful because we've made the graduations now to be career fairs as well as graduations. And most of the people that are there from the companies that are at the career fairs with tables don't really know what they're getting themselves into if they've never been to a graduation. So I'll tell you a story that's associated with this. But when our graduates speak, and they speak from the heart every single time, they tell their story of their struggle, that where they were before they started. And we do a little exercise first day of class. And then the second day of class, we talk about how did you feel when you walked in? And then how did you feel when you walked out that very first day? And they talk about life-changing stuff. And we're blown away, from one day. They don't even know what they don't know yet. And we're sitting there looking at them and sobbing most of the time to say, how have we missed the boat as a community, as a country, to not help in this way, to help our veterans just feel whole again, to be empowered, to just feel, confident out there in this community to look for these careers. So I'll tell you real quick, at one of the graduations recently, and we do them at University Center, one of the gentlemen that was there as a career resource person had a table. At the end, he pulled me aside and, Michele, I need to talk to you. I said, absolutely, what's going on? He goes, no, I need to talk to you outside. I'm like, okay, what's happening? He goes, I didn't know anything about your program. And he starts crying. He goes, but I think I need your program. I am miserable where I'm at. They work me night and day. It's a horrible place to work, and I need to go through your program. Am I a candidate? And I'm like, tell me about you. And, right there, something like that to happen right there is, we don't have to say a thing. Our graduates do. And it's amazing.
That's perfect for this next question because a lot of people out there aren't familiar with Operation New Uniform, and maybe they don't know who's eligible. Like, what makes you eligible for the program?
Tracey, why don't you take that one?
Well, our program is eligible for all transition veterans and their spouses. And we're talking if you put in 3 years or you put in 33 years. If you were enlisted, you were an officer, does not matter.
We have active duty too, right, Tracey?
Oh, yes, active duty. We have some individuals who go through the program who their date to get out is next March, next April, next May. They're planning ahead. They're being proactive
Those
in
are
their
the
career.
smart ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like me when I retired. Not like me. So, we have some that are reservist duty. We actually had 2 young ladies who were in the Naval Reserves and who are getting ready to decide, do I still want to stay in?
Yeah.
Or do I want to make this transition? And our program helped them truly make a decision that was best for them and their families.
Outstanding. Well, we think so much about ONU. Ascendo Resources, our company, likes to sponsor events for you guys and participate. That's part of it, not just, here's some money. We want to take part of it. What are some of the creative and different things you do as fundraisers through the year? And then we're going to get to the big one.
Okay, so through the year, we get to do fun things like we get to go do a clay target shoot. Do you guys like to shoot?
I'm a little bit afraid of guns. But Tom Nolan.
Oh my gosh. I think he got the water gun for the worst shooter.
The worst.
But we won't get into that. We already humiliated him in front of your entire staff.
Right.
But Angie, for you, I have a ladies shotgun group called Bales with Shells. You're always welcome to join us.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to do that.
Okay, once
Just
a
let
month.
me know
It's a
afterwards.
networking event, but I think you'll like it. But we get to do a clay shoot every year, and it's a fundraiser. And I'll tell you, we're sold out every year, usually ahead of the actual date because it's so much fun, and everybody has a good time, and we get to support our veteran community. So it's awesome. Do you want me to talk about the big one?
All right, let's get into the big one. Now, the big one, I'm going to let you say what the names of the people that you have, the master of ceremonies, the auctioneer, the guest speaker. I mean, it is amazing. Tell us all about it.
I wish you could see what he looks like right now when Pete does this. He gets so excited. It's so cute. I'm excited too. I know Angie is and Trey. We're all excited about this, and we are in the throes of this. But it's called our Heroes Gala, and this is our 9th annual Heroes Gala, and we do it at the Sawgrass Marriott, and it's on December 3rd, and it's a Saturday night, and it is truly a gala. It's black tie optional, and our guest speaker is going to be Lieutenant Colonel West. Who is amazing. Let me tell you, can I give you a little plug for this man? I talked to him the other day, and I was honored to be on a Zoom call with him. And he was telling us, don't get me a special ticket on the air flight. Don't get me a special room. Don't do this. I am not a diva. What do you need from me? I'm here to serve our veteran community. I mean, everything that he said, I was in tears. He's just so humble. He's an amazing speaker. If you don't know who he is, please look him up. And he is going to be there live and talking to people. He wants to talk to people at the cocktail hour. He said, I'm there for you. So what do you want me to do?
I know somebody he's going to talk to. That is Pete the Job Guy. Because I'm going to seek him out like a heat missile, and I'm going to find him.
We look forward to that.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the name Brian Kilmeade.
I might have.
You think
Might have heard of him. Might have heard of him.
Brian Kilmeade, we're so excited, is going to be there as well. He's our master of ceremonies. We're just going to have a lot of fun with him. He's also going to do a book signing for his new book that's coming out at the end. He'll be sticking around, but he wants to as well talk to everybody at the cocktail hour. So we're going to have a lot of fun bringing them in. And then some of you may know Senator Aaron Bean.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner. I'm excited about that. I think we have to change his title on our promo stuff, but we are so excited that he's going to be our auctioneer again. He has done it in the past. He gets everybody just excited and
he's colorful and fun and outgoing. And
he's almost as colorful as you are.
Oh, come on now.
Not quite that much. I know, Pete. I hate to say it, but he's so much fun. But we have some amazing gifts. So when you look at the auction items, the live auction, we have 6 amazing items. Go to our website. You're going to start to see things, and our silent auction is going to be out of control. So can't wait to see everybody there.
Operation New Uniform. Now, tickets still are available, right?
Yep.
And how can people get some?
Yeah, a few tables left. Not many, so we want you to hurry up and get in on it. We only have like 3 weeks, if I were going to say that, but it's coming up pretty quickly. ONUvets.org.
Okay, onuvets.org. I'm going to share with you, Angie and I are going to be there with our Ascendo Resources team, some of the members. We are a sponsor. Right. We're a proud sponsor of such a great program. There are tables available. Guys, onuvets.com. Go out there.
.org.
.org. onuvets.org. Okay. Yeah. See, this is why I leave all my mistakes in. There'll be no editing for me, so that makes me say it again so people hear it. But join us. Come say hi to us. Say hi to Brian Kilmeade, to Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Come out and meet Aaron Bean and meet Michelle and Tracy and everybody. And boy, I would love to have you come out. Think about what the cause is. And who gets to go to a black tie event anymore? There's almost none, right?
That's
I know
true.
It's black tie optional, but I'll probably be in my tuxedo.
Well, or your military uniform. We're asking for our military members to, if you can squeeze.
Yeah,
or probably too big, right?
Number one, I don't have it, but I was a different person then. Like
Tracy, you're not.
That's not happening.
Well, you know, Tracy, I'm going to put this question to you. Michelle's been on the show before, and I asked her this question. I don't let any of the guests get out of here without answering this. And this one, you get a little introspective. You think a bit. If I had a time machine that you could just get in that time machine, go back in time and meet a younger version of yourself, maybe 19, 20-year-old version of yourself, and you just walk right up to your younger self, put your hand right on your shoulder, look yourself right in the eye and say, hey, son, let me give you this bit of advice. What advice would you give your younger self?
Wow, that is a deep question.
It is.
Because I was in the military, like you said yourself, from 18 to 39, pretty much my adult life, the beginning of my adult life.
Right.
I would tell my younger self, it's okay to give all to your country as we did, but when you are hurting, when you hurt yourself on active duty, whether that's physically, mentally, go to sick call, go to sick bay, go get that checked out. A lot of times we were taught it was not manly or womanly or hoorah to go when you're hurting. And now being retired military and having to go through the VA system, a lot of that actually counts against you because it's not documented.
Yeah. You know what? That kind of advice, that translates everywhere.
Oh,
If anybody's hurting, there are people out there that can help you, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is.
Right.
You just have to ask for help. And there's no shame in that game by putting it out there. You're an Ordie. Ordie's a near and dear to me. I was a jet mech. I was an AD second class 7 years in. So so I hung out with all the Ordies. That's why I still talk to, shout out Kevin Meager because he listens to the show. He's a retired Ordie chief, but that's fantastic. All right, now let's see. Last thing. All right, we already gave website information. Let's just get the contact information one more time here directly from you, Michelle. If people want to go to the gala, learn more about it. Donate $1 million directly.
I love the way you think, Angie. You are
speak it.
Such a sweetheart. That's right. Speak it out there. Please go to our website at ONUVets, that's plural, VETS.org. And we would love to hear from you. You're welcome to call our office, but if you go to the website, you'll get all the information. But 904-328-1600 is our phone number. And thank you so much in advance for you guys, for just being amazing sponsors. We love you so much.
Oh, Michelle, Tracy, thank you so much for being guests on the show today. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. They're walking out of the studio right now. Man, Tracy and Michelle from ONU, Angie, weren't they great?
Oh, they're awesome.
They always.
They're
Michelle
my
always
Michelle's
is.
one of my favorites.
She is. She's one of my favorites. She's a great guest. Operation New Uniform. ONUVets.org. Vets plural.org. Yeah, I tell all the listeners, guys, join me. There's a couple tables left. You know, you don't want to miss out. Come on to the great the gala, the Heroes Gala, and
Pete and I will be there.
Yeah?
I mean, why not come, right?
Right. Well, guys, that music that we're listening to right now tells us we're coming to the bottom of the hour break. You're listening to Hard Worker with Pete the Job Guy on 104.5 WOKV.
Welcome back to Hard Worker to Pete the Job Guy with 104.5 WOKV.
Oh, all hard workers. Welcome back to the second half of the show. That little voice you hear right there is our producer, Jay Bose, our new producer. You know, we've had Josh McCarthy for 4.5 years. We have Jay now. Josh is down in the Orlando station for Cox Media still. But we have Jay, and we're just pleased as punch that he's here. And that's his son, Jaden, that welcomes us back to the bottom of the hour, second half of the show. We're so happy that Jaden did that. It's so cute. As you guys know, Angie Langlois is my co-host. What you got, Ange?
Well, this is new for me. I'm like the behind-the-scenes make it happen person. So now we're doing this together. So
right.
looking forward to it.
You know what's funny is, people know me as Pete the Job Guy, but you're kind of like Pete the Job Boss. In this relationship,
that's
guys.
Correct.
I'm the eye candy. That's all. I'm along for the ride. Ange, so I think what's funny is let's first off tell the story of our first date. I think that because look, guys, if you don't know, Angie and I have been working together for over 20 years. Been married for over 20 years. We have wonderful kids, but we're this couple that we wake up, and we have a little routine. Yeah, I'm going to tell them the routine.
Do it.
I'm an early riser. I get up around 5:45, 6 o'clock every day. And I clean the entire house. I get up, I do every dish. I wash every surface of the house. I clean the bathrooms. I do all the laundry. I make the house spotless. And then when I'm done all this stuff, after I'm done, I get the coffee out of the cabinet and I make the coffee. And I get Angie's coffee just the way she likes it. And she's sleeping the whole time. And then I walk into the room. And I take the coffee and I present it next to the bear because the bear is hibernating. The bear is sleeping, and I don't want the bear to wake up with teeth and claws. I want the bear to be smiling and happy. And somehow when the bear smells the coffee, the bear wakes up and is happy and has a better day. Right, Bear?
I swear, if you didn't know me, you would think I'm the biggest, crazy mean person, and I'm so not. But I do love that.
Yeah.
And, they do make medication for all those issues, though.
But what's the trade out? I mean, when you look at our relationship,
yeah.
There are a lot of things that you do that either I can't do or you choose to do. And it's a real give and take. It's a true partnership.
Oh, it really is. And I'll tell you guys this, and this is a guy that runs a $1 million technology business. He does not know how to download an app. And I swear to God, he refuses for me to show him. So Lindy and I could be out of town and this fool won't be able to order Uber Eats. Who doesn't know how to order Uber Eats?
It's never worked out right for me. So I know you guys are worried that I'm going to starve to death if you're not home. And I do struggle with downloading apps.
Actually, my friends call and they're like, hey, is Pete okay? I know you're out of town.
It's true. I am moderately helpless. There are some other things that you do that I just don't do. When we go to a restaurant, how do I get my food?
Oh, my gosh. So he refuses to order for himself. And Michaela in our office asked him what he'd like from Chick-fil-A. Who doesn't know the menu backwards and forwards at Chick-fil-A? They have 10 items. He's like, I don't know. What does Chick-fil-A have? Who asked that? So Michaela goes, oh, that's right. Angie orders all of your food. I got it.
It is true.
That's a true story.
Angie orders my food. If we were going to go somewhere, who sits in the driver's seat?
I drive, and actually our neighbor, Jason, makes fun of Pete for that. Yeah. But, I drive. I don't know. I drive. I do the taxes. I do all of our bills. Let me just keep going down this long list, and right. I deserve that coffee.
So from a this is good because, we're talking about our personal lives right now. And that's the fun part is there is such a yin and yang and a give and take. And it doesn't matter traditional, non-traditional roles, whatever. It's a true partnership outside of the office. And then you get us inside the office, and it's very much the same thing, right? I mean, we've worked together for so long. We get in the car, Angie drives to work, and then we work all day together and then come home together. That would drive a lot of people batty.
Yeah, I finally made him get his own car. because I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, I need some alone time. Sometimes I like to rock out in the car, and we don't like the same music.
Right. It is true.
Yeah.
I did have to get my own vehicle, but hey, it is a good thing. We got a great thing going. And then in business, our skills complement each other when we meet new clients, meeting candidates. And in working together for so long, Angie and I have literally placed thousands of people in their jobs, in their careers. We've helped so many companies in Jacksonville, whether they need 50 temporary employees for a peak season period, answering phone calls or processing claims, or they need a CFO or a highly specialized IT professional. It doesn't matter. Angie and I have helped so many companies in the professional space, accountants, IT professionals. We have healthcare division.
Legal, administrative, call center, collections, you name it, we can do it. Even the hard, like if you need a temp for a week. Those aren't our favorites. I'm going to just be honest.
But we do have
it.
that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of companies right now, look, we're staring down the holidays right
Absolutely.
now. Someone's going to take a week off. Who's answering your phones?
Right.
Who's processing X, Y, and Z, or who's handling whatever it is? We have professionals that are ready to step in and add value and allow people to take vacation, and it is simple.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know Pete and I's story, this is our third startup, I guess is the best way to say it. And we decided that we're going to, 2019 December, to join with Ascendo Resources. They bought out my company, Angie Staffing, and just the two of us swinging every day. And then January comes, okay, we got this. We hired Alexis. And then COVID hits.
Yes.
So it's just been this amazing journey and story with Ascendo Resources. Awesome company. If you don't know them, look them up. Headquarters in Miami. But we have built the most fantastic group of humans. We work with them, you're with your work family more than your actual family. So, it's a super special, inspiring story. And I just wanted to give a shout out to our office because they are why we're here.
Right. Our Ascendo Resources team, here in Jacksonville, we have about 30 recruiters dedicated to the local Jacksonville market. We have almost no turnover in 3 years of operation. And we are one of the largest staffing agencies right here. We're a certified minority-owned firm. We have offices throughout the United States. I'm proud to be the chief sales and strategy officer nationwide for a roughly $120 million staffing firm. It's an exciting story of growth, of perseverance, hard work, and dedication.
Yeah.
And when I tell people, if you're a company, you're having difficulty finding talent right now, qualified candidates, there has not been a candidate genocide. Great candidates are out there. You just need to call Ascendo Resources. Guys, that music right there tells us we need to take a quick break. Listen to this message from our show sponsor. You're listening to Hard Worker with Pete the Job Guy on 104.5 WOKV.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's me, Angie Langlois, one of the managing partners here at Ascendo Resources in Jacksonville, Florida. Ascendo Resources is an award-winning, certified minority-owned staffing firm that specializes in placing highly skilled professionals on a temporary, temp-to-perm, or direct hire basis. Call the true professionals at Ascendo today because despite the current challenges, our talented recruiters can find exactly what you need. Call me, Angie Langlois, at 904-479-9610.
All right, welcome back, guys. Now, that was our show sponsor, Ascendo Resources, and that commercial was done by the world-famous Angie Langlois. If you need any staffing assistance, you reach out to Ascendo Resources, whether you're a candidate looking for that next step in your professional career or you just want to talk about it, see what's out there. Give us a call, give Angie a call directly, or you can work with the Job Guy if you'd like to. Either way, Ascendo Resources here in Jacksonville, very easy to reach us. You can always send me an email. If there's a topic you'd like to see Angie and I talk about, maybe you have a difficult boss or there's a work-related scenario you'd like to run by us and, we'll talk it out on the air, or we'll bring an expert in that can tell you if we're not experts on the topic. you just send me an email, pete@petethejobguy.com. You guys can always go to our website, petethejobguy.com is our website. We're on Spotify, Apple, whatever you call it, all the podcast outlets. And we're happy to be right here on WOKV 104.5 FM. All right, Angie, so let's tell the story of how you and I became Pete and Angie. Like, the whole first date story and, how that came about.
Pete and Angie. Okay, so I'll fast forward to when I transferred down to Jacksonville, Florida. Keep in mind, my first day is 9/11. So you and I only worked together briefly, maybe like 3 or 4 months. And then
we both work for a large international staffing firm.
Which we won't
I didn't know you. You didn't know me.
So anyways, here's a guy. He's a good mentor. Like, and I'm a tough cookie. Like, I don't really like anybody to tell me what to do or give me advice. But this guy, I'm like, you know what? He's somebody I could actually look up to as a mentor.
And I was hot and single.
Yeah, you were hot. That's beside the point. I didn't look at you like that then. So anyways, he gets transferred down to Orlando. And so we had this mentorship type relationship, and I would ask him advice and, what do I do in this tough situation, blah, blah, blah. And then out of the blue, one time he sends me an email. He's, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, look at this guy. He might not have any friends in Jacksonville. Like, oh, nothing, we're just going to be hanging out. Like maybe
I'm
he
so
just
courageous. I sent her an email,
Anyways, I thought it was cute, but I didn't think of it any other way. Like, this is a guy that needs help with his social life.
I'm socially inept. I can't meet anybody. I'm shy as all get out.
So anyways, he's like, hey, do you want to meet where did we meet? I forget.
Ragtime.
Oh, you remember that specifically.
I said, hey, let's meet at Ragtime. It was early. It was 7 o'clock. I said, maybe we can meet up.
We'll meet out.
She says, yeah. So I'll tell you, I think I have a date. I show up at Ragtime. I'm there at like 6:45, right? I'm in military time. I am never late. I show up 6:45. I'm thinking I got a date with this cutie, Angie Noreen was your name, and I'm all excited. I go in, 6:45, there's nobody there. I order a red brick ale. That's one of the beers they have on tap. I'll never forget. And I'm drinking my beer, and who walks in? But my ex-girlfriend and 6 of her friends. And they all sit down at a table, and I'm sitting, there's nobody else. You don't believe me? Go to Ragtime at like 6 or 7 o'clock on a Friday. There's nobody there, right? So there's nobody there. I'm sitting at the bar. It's me and my ex-girlfriend and all her friends, and I look like a clown. So I'm sitting there with my clown butt, and then then all of a sudden it turns 7, and it's 7:05, and then I call Angie.
Yeah,
and
so I happened to be at a party with 2 other guy friends, which he knows that there were, and I'm having a great time, and the phone rings, and I'm like, hello? And he's like, Angie. I'm like, who is this? Oh, Pete. Hey. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I'll be right there.
I'm like, hey, she goes, what are you doing? What's going on? I said, well, are you meeting me? I'm thinking I'm in a date. I'm wearing my, I got my shoes, got my hair did, and I got my shirt on, looking all good and waiting for Angie. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll be right there. So she shows up with the 2 guys that I know, and they're great guys. And I'm like, you forgot all about it. No, don't worry about it. But listen.
Happy ending.
We had a blast that night. Dancing, drinking. Yes. We went everywhere. It was
Drank
good.
a little too much, stayed out a little bit too late.
And you know what the fun part is? I think you and I were both at a point in our lives where we weren't looking for anybody, and I wasn't, you really weren't. We go on this date.
Well, we always say that, right? Get your life together before you bring somebody else into it.
Right. And we both had our lives together. That was amazing. I always say that this is funny. When I was dating, I would say whatever age in years the girl is,
judgmental.
That's how many thousands of dollars in revolving debt they are. So if you choose to date a 28-year-old, they owe $28,000 and they have that in revolving debt. I always said that. And it's like, I know that's not a nice thing to say because there's a bunch of clown guys out there, but I just wanted a baggage-free relationship, or relatively baggage. We're all carrying something with us. And, it's just been so easy.
Oh, my gosh. Do we have time to tell our actual first date story, though? Like our date? You probably don't even remember it.
As a matter of fact, I don't.
Okay. Well, let me remind you. So you're like, hey, what are you doing Friday? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? He's like, yeah, let's watch a movie at my house.
Oh, don't.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is going back because this is Blockbuster days, right? And he goes, hey, do you mind picking up a video? And I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll get the video. You know, what do you like? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, do you have a VCR? I'm like, are you serious? Like, you need me to, this is VCR day.
Come on over and watch a movie.
I had to come over with like all of my own equipment.
Oh,
like, it was like, really?
Can you
Who's
pick up
this
some
dude?
cookies?
I'm pretty sure I had to pick up the food too. I'm like, oh my gosh, he better be a good kisser.
Listen, it got way better. I guess I brought more baggage than I knew then. But look, we forged a great life. You know, we really did. The business that we went in, they didn't tell us when we met that they were going to close that office for that thing, and we built it into a $37 million annual revenue business in about 3 or 4 years, maybe a little bit longer.
I feel like we're rebuilding that now
special
with Ascendo.
Ascendo, my gosh, this has been the fastest and the biggest growth with, and I've never had more fun than this. You know, work hard, have fun, give back. And we mean that. You know, and one of the biggest things that Angie and I have done is we teach others and inspire others to give back. That's what I love so much about the people we work with. We tell them, if you have a cause that you're passionate about, you know, maybe you like to walk dogs at the animal shelter, or, you know, like I like veterans causes. I'm on the board of directors for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, helping folks with T1D improve their lives and live a better life and improve their, everything along the way. You know, but other people have other causes, and we all rally behind each other, give time, energy, and money to these causes. And what Angie and we feel we're helping to inspire people to leave footprints like we are. I mean, we could have our individual footprints to make life a little bit better for others, but we're inspiring others to do that. And that's pretty super cool.
Yeah, and I think back to everything we've done up until this point, and I feel like we're people that give and give until it may be a little bit too much. Like,
yeah, sometimes.
Hurts.
Yeah, sometimes it really hurts.
And I guess I have a problem with saying no. I've been told.
Oh, when we're at the auctions, you get that paddle out and that doggone thing's on fire.
Can I get 5,000? Woo, right here. No, that's after a couple drinks, so
right.
Can't hold it against me.
But just a couple things to mention. All of you guys go to Pete's bar on Thanksgiving. I know you all do. There's about 20,000 people that are out there drinking beer in the streets, and they close down all Atlantic Beach. Well, right before that is the 8th annual Tony's Turkey Trot for Brain Injury Awareness. And once again, Pete the Job Guy is going to MC the event, me, and I'm really happy to do that. You'll be up on stage with me.
Is your dad coming this year with his teeth?
Yeah, my dad had those funny fake teeth, and I'd say, "Oh, here's my dad," and he pops a smile with these big, ugly fake teeth. I'm like, "Oh, Dad, that never gets old." He's 84 years old with the fake teeth. It's a riot. But I hope you guys can come out for that. Support the cause. 8th annual Tony's Turkey Trot for Brain Injury Awareness. Our guest next week is Jess. She's the chairperson for the event. She's going to talk about her son Gabe and their ordeal and what they went through and his amazing comeback. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys, this next part of the show is one of my favorites and has been for 4.5 years. This is where we get a Boston update from Boston Danny. Boston Danny tells us about the fair city of Boston. He knows where every single cobblestone is, and he's been living there his entire life. Some people used to think that Boston Danny was just me putting on the dog and doing a fake Boston accent, but Boston Danny came down and visited, had the tour here at WOKV Studios, and it was great that people got to see that he is real, because he lives in Boston and he records the show sometimes on the streets of Boston, which is hilarious because it's loud in the background. One thing that Boston Danny does for you, he gives shout outs. So if you have a special someone that has a birthday, an anniversary, or maybe they just made your workday a little brighter and you'd like to recognize them for it, send an email to me, pete@petethejobguy.com, and I'll take that email, give it to Boston Danny, and he will give your special someone a wicked piss of shout out like only Boston Danny can. With no further ado, let's get this week's Boston update from Boston Danny.
Hello, Jacksonville. Danny here, back with your Northern Update. It's great to be back on the air talking to you guys in Jacksonville with Peter and Angie. And, you know, they're going to do it right for you guys, give you some good advice. They're a fun team. Where do you get a load of them? Well, things are going along all right for me up here in Boston. Things are looking good. You know, we just had a great November start. It was like September and November. We really like our Indian summers. And but we know the cold's coming, but we know how to deal with it. You know, we use the back porch like a refrigerator when it's cold enough, and when it gets real cold and snows, we know how to play in it, skiing, sledding, and snowmobile, and all that stuff. You guys should come up and check it out. It's not a bad way to spend the winter hours. You know, the sports scene, we're doing fantastic. The Patriots are right up there with the rest of the league. And let me tell you, say what you like about Bill Belichick, but one day it's going to be the Belichick trophy instead of the Lombardi. He's that good, folks. And, you know, we got our winter sports, the Celtics and the Bruins. The Bruins have got a great shot out of the gate. They always put up a great product. Hopefully this year we can bring Lord Stanley home here. And the Celtics, you know, they're doing it. They got their problems with their upper management, but what company doesn't? So, you know, there's a jibe for you. So everything else is going well here. You know, you guys love your state of Florida. I was down to see Peter recently. Peter and Angie, gracious hosts. I want to say thank you again, Pete, and we'll be talking. You know, you get your shout-outs into me. That's what I do. I mangle them up for you. I give you happy birthdays, your anniversaries, whatever you want to put on the air with me. So send it out to me. I got a wicked happy birthday, wicked pisser wishes to Mike Myers, Mike Costello. Oh, yeah. See, Mark Quatler. That's a great one for a guy from Boston. You have a great day, Mark. Thanks. And to the original hooligan, Tommy Houlihan. Enjoy yourself. And brothers and sisters in Jacksonville, you too. And always remember, a big shout out, the biggest, to our first responders and all you veterans and active duty guys. We can't say enough for you guys. Pete's a great supporter of you, so we'll help you along the way too. Brothers and sisters in Jacksonville, enjoy it. I'll talk to you next week. I got plenty to say.
Oh, another gem from Boston Danny. Oh, man, that never gets old. That's a riot, and we're so glad to have Boston Danny as a weekly contributor on our show from the show's inception. Well, guys, you did it. Our guests this week were the CEO of Operation New Uniform, Michele McManamon, and then Tracey Bradley, who is the program outreach coordinator, and talking about that upcoming Heroes Gala. Ange, how do people sign up for it?
Everybody, it's December 3rd, first of all, Saturday night, Sawgrass Marriott. Go to onuvets.org. She said you can sign up there. But come, there's a few tables left, and I'll tell you what, I'll give you my seats. If you want to come that bad, I'll stand. But yeah, looking forward to a great event this year.
Right. And so Angie and I were happy that you chose to join us for this week. Look, you did it. You're listening to Hard Worker with Pete the Job Guy on 104.5 WOKV. Go out there and have a great week, Hard Workers.